Without bullying, which we have this country, or the Non-Compete Act of 1975, the reality is America would have zero businesses on a global scale. Eventually, unless action is taken, we'll have none anyway, as our stupid politicians and some of the retarded generals and high office peoples are oblivious to what's going on around them, never mind the far. Sadly, fortunately, some of them are beginning to see through the fog this week. All world trade, if it continues on the same path, will come from the Far East. Whilst we have argued over Trump's affairs, his tax returns, Russian collusion, visa documents, they carried on doing deals globally, and we got left behind. That's fair, Paul Thomas. We lead the way in multiple aspects. Yes, like the number of incarcerated people, the number of black people in jail, and the number of cops killing civilians. It's not something to be proud of, to be quite honest. Manufacturing, which equals self-sustaining, means we look after ourselves, has lost over 50% in under 2 decades. 38 million living in poverty, 27.5 million without health coverage, 1 in 6 children in the United States below the poverty line. Why? Because we have no economy. We haven't for numbers of years. And outside of military hardware sales, which is largely imposed on certain countries under threat, we basically have nothing to sell to anyone. And this is why Trump won't address Saudi issues and the Khashoggi affair, as too many trade deals are on the table with them that we can't afford to lose in the current format, which may change. We are more expensive, our products are substandard, and we have insufficient expertise in all walks of life to fix things quickly. It's a big problem. And the backdrop to this is our teaching methods in all fields is dumbed down, which has a consequence of lack of skills in the various economic trades. Our purchasing value has plummeted, where the dollar to gold ratio per ounce back in 1913 was $28.50. Now, $5,177. Oops. The real gold money, gold and silver, now has ratios of gold 103 pieces of paper, which is representing gold, to 1 ounce of physical on hand. So they'll give you a gold certificate representing 1 ounce of physical. It's 103 times what we have on physical. Silver is leveraged 194 bits of paper to 1 physical ounce of silver. If it all gets called in, there's going to be bedlam. And if you want to know why America is failing, when we have a country that has the most million and billionaires, and yet 80% of jobs is service sector. Between 12 and 25% of all jobs in each state works for the government. Manufacturing is 8%. Just 8% of American people produce. That means we are only 8% self-sustaining or have available sales to go abroad. And you all wonder why our trade deficit is so high. We have nothing to sell is why. And yes, CEO greed merchants are to blame, but not totally. This was an engineered program that the top brass in this country are failing to see as of yet, of an economic and systematic collapse of this country and shifting all the wealth and power to the east. Now, military top brass are to blame for the recent issues. They're being funded by the deep state of China currently. Yes, you heard that right. Ain't that right, DOD, with your vouchers? The capital that was siphoned out of our banks in the past 6 months over to Shanghai, it never returned, did it? Just like we warned you. And yet we have a bona fide solution to really rebuild this country, and also afar. And yet the clowns play the old failed game, and their fake leaders have led them to, which is ultimate failure. You need to quit arguing with Omars, Cortez's and Pelosi, Trump, and let's get this rebuild on the road. We have far too much to do than you or most Americans realise, and quit stalling it for faction games. We are on the edge of major change should events ongoing continue the current path and not have hidden agendas. The work Kim and the team have put in appears to have finally achieved a breakthrough against the system, which was based in lies and distortion. We hope they gain much courage in stepping away. But know the people await you and are willing to support you in any way we can. Let's get transparent about this and open up their can of worms. Cautious optimism, for me, abounds at this time, but discretion is always advised. We have come too far to let loose lips sink ships. And this week, 107 years ago, the people ship symbolised the death knell of the American financial system. Maybe this week will symbolise their downfall. The People's Freedom Ship has docked, and the world is about to disembark. My name's Thomas Williams. This has been the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. Bye for now.